Well, this is BTN Live from Chicago. I'm Jillian Mahen alongside Dion Thomas.
Also at noon, Indiana hosting Purdue, and the Hoosiers hoping to get that coveted 6th win of the season and punch their ticket to a bowl game.
And we are joined now by Michigan's Mr. Do-It-All, Jabril Peppers. Jabril, first and foremost, congratulations. What does it mean to you to be named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year?
Mike, there's something to be said about home court advantage for the Buckeyes here at Value City Arena.
Hey guys, while most of the focus right now is still on the gridiron, the Big Ten has some great stuff happening on the hardwood. Maryland leading UMBC 42-17 at the break. Welcome into our BTN halftime report. I'm Jillian Mahen alongside Lauren Young, and we now know that Michigan's Jabril Peppers is one of the lucky 5 finalists invited to New York for Saturday's awards ceremony. So what can Iowa do then to stop him? Because I think that's going to be the big question on just about every Big Ten opponent's mind. I'm Jillian Mahen alongside Lauren Young, and it's been quite an interesting and very exciting game so far, Lauren. And really, I think one of the stats that really stands out the most is that Indiana right now is sitting with 14 points in the paint to Michigan State's 8. That brings me to my big deal, which is the Michigan-Northwestern game. Those two teams are vying for that 3rd place spot, and Northwestern has this emotional momentum that I really think has carried them through these first 2 games since Jordan Hankins' passing, and it'll be interesting to see how they're able to play away from Evanston. Wildcats secured their 7th win of the season just moments ago, and the Hoosiers looking to do the same when they take the field in just a few hours. I'm Jillian Mahen. Jay Lehman will join me to break down Northwestern's big bowl win and preview Tom Allen's head coaching debut. Plus, Big Ten play is underway on the hardwood with Nebraska on the road at Indiana and the Hawkeyes heading to West Lafayette to try and upset Biggie Swanigan and the Boilermakers. Jess Settles is here to chat hoops on this Super Wednesday edition of BTN Live.
Also at noon, Indiana hosting Purdue, and the Hoosiers hoping to get that coveted 6th win of the season and punch their ticket to a bowl game. This will be the first time since 1990-1991 that Indiana has been able to go to consecutive bowl games. Meanwhile, the Boilermakers trying to get to their 4th win of the season for the first time since 2012 and snap a 6-game losing streak. Both of these teams come into this game with 2 of the best passing offenses in the entire Big Ten. Purdue averaging more than 300 passing yards per game, while Indiana averaging more than 290 passing yards per game. However, because of that, they're also worst and second worst in the Big Ten in terms of interceptions. So this one's going to come down to who can protect the ball the best. Now let's go to Nicole in College Park. Mike, there's something to be said about home court advantage for the Buckeyes here at Value City Arena. Purdue is just 1-13 all time at this venue. When asked about the challenges of playing here, Purdue head coach Matt Painter said it really comes down to the quality teams that Ohio State has been able to put together over the last 2 decades. This time around, Purdue rolls into town with a busload of talent, chiefly Biggie Swanigan. He's a favorite for Big Ten Player of the Year, likely a contender for National Player of the Year, and the hype is well deserved. There have only been 7 games all season across the nation where a player has put up 20 points and pulled down 20 rebounds. Biggie has 4 of those 7 games. He's averaging more than 18 points per game, 13 rebounds per game. Simply put, he's a freight train, and Ohio State's going to have to find a way to stop him if they want to get their first conference win of the season. Now back to you in Chicago. All right, Grant, congratulations first and foremost. Tell me what's going through your mind as you are bolting towards the end zone.
I mean, it's unreal. I was just trying to catch the ball first and just run and don't get tackled. I got kind of tired towards the end, but, just getting in the end zone, it was the best feeling in the world. It's just something I'll never forget. So I still hasn't hit me yet.
What was it like when you finally realized what the scoreboard said and you see the fans running onto the field?
I was just blessed. And I just looked up to God and I was like, thank you. I was just so relieved and so excited. This team, they put in so much hard work, and our coaches had a great game plan, and we just executed it well, and we just went out there and competed, and that's a great team out there, and we just battled to the end.
All right, Trace, huge win for you guys, obviously. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room?
It was incredible. Just guys so excited. That's what we live for, is that 30, 45 minutes after a big win in the locker room. We work so hard all week and all year, and we only get so many opportunities in the locker room with our family and with our brothers to celebrate wins like that. So it was incredible. Just try to soak up every second of it and just enjoy it, really. Just take it all in and enjoy it.
What does this win mean to this program and to this team specifically?
It means a lot for us. For us to have that kind of resiliency, to be able to fight back. All odds were against us. A lot of people were doubting us, and it was huge for us just to come out and perform like we were able to. I mean, it's huge for us, and you can use this as a springboard.
This is like right now, upsetting number 3 Michigan.
I can't really put it into words right now. Tomorrow, it'll probably become more of a reality, but right now it's just all a blur. It's a great feeling, though.
You hit the game-winning field goal. What's going through your mind as you're stepping out on the field?
Just kick it like a normal kick. I saw the uprights, and I just felt really comfortable with that spot.
And then you got iced.
And then I got iced. It doesn't really matter. I just came out and kicked it like I normally do.
And we are joined now by Northwestern's Vic Law. Vic, you are a Chicago kid, and this Northwestern-DePaul game has become somewhat of a rivalry game. So tell me, being from Chicago, playing at Northwestern, what does this rivalry mean to you?
Well, I think it means a lot for the neighborhoods and the two schools playing each other. The two programs have really elevated their status in the last couple of years.
People have said that you guys have swagger, and swagger isn't usually a term that is attached to Northwestern basketball. So how do you get swagger for Northwestern basketball?
Well, I think just the confidence that everyone has with each other. And when you win games, you know, like against Texas and against Wake Forest, and when you're in all these games, you just get a certain confidence.
Who on the team has the most swagger?
Probably Coach Collins. I'll give it to Coach
Really? Coach
Yeah.
gets the swagger award? What is it that gives him the most swagger?
I don't know, man. I guess I got to give it to him. Every day in practice, he comes in, you know, cocky and confident about himself. And, you know, the team's going to take the personality of their coach. And I think that's really what we're doing.
Well, you guys have said that you don't like being asked, when will you make the NCAA tournament? Is this the team to make the NCAA tournament? So I'm not going to ask you that. Instead, I'm going to ask you, why is this the team to make the NCAA tournament?
I don't know if I really can give you an answer to that. All I can do is tell you that, you know, the goal that we're doing is to win every game that's in front of us.
All right, Vic, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey guys, well, most of the focus right now is still on the gridiron. The Big Ten has some great stuff happening on the hardwood. Don't look now, but the Northwestern Wildcats are sitting at 3-1 and playing in the Legends Classic Championship game in New York City. Yeah, Wildcats championship game, just not two phrases you hear every day. So how did they get here? Well, it starts with an upset over number 22 Texas last night. That's Scotty Lindsey with the steal and takes it to the hoop. He had 16 points for the Purple last night. And no mercy from the Cats. Before Texas can get on the board, it's Sanjay Lumpkin lobs one to Vic Law for the two-handed jam, and Northwestern started the game on an 11-0 run. Second half now, Bryant McIntosh making it look easy as he cuts through the lane to the basket, and McIntosh had a game-high 20 points. Northwestern gets the win 77-58, and what a night in Big Ten hoops. Here's the slate for tonight's games. Notre Dame and Northwestern battle for the Midwestern bragging rights and the Legends Classic Championship at 6 Eastern. Unbeaten Maryland hosting Stony Brook at 7 right here on BTN. That's game 1 of our doubleheader. Number 16, Wisconsin playing Georgetown in the semifinals of the Maui Jim Invitational at 8. Battle of the Unbeatens with Minnesota and Arkansas also at 8. Number 17, Purdue opening the Cancun Challenge against Utah State at 8:30. And the Hoosiers playing a road game in Fort Wayne. Not much of a road game there. That's at 9, and that is game 2 of our doubleheader right here on BTN. Well, there's more than one big rivalry game going on this week in the Big Ten. Wisconsin and Minnesota playing for Paul Bunyan's Axe on Saturday, and things are starting to get a little ugly on social media. Wisconsin-Madison's Twitter account sending out this tweet. Nobody has ever tweeted that Minnesota beat Wisconsin because Twitter didn't exist the last time Minnesota beat Wisconsin. And for the record, the Badgers have won the last 12 straight, but Goldie the Gopher responded with, I wouldn't be too quick to say that nobody has ever tweeted that Minnesota beat Wisconsin. Hashtag check your facts. And that's a picture of the results in the border battle, an annual competition between the athletic departments. So naturally, Wisconsin had a response for that, a picture of the Gopher reaching tool. You may have seen that on TV, just in case Goldie needs to, quote, reach a little further. Hashtag Axe Week. Tough burn there. Biggie Swanigan, it's hard to put a guy like Biggie Swanigan into just one word. There's nothing small about him, so one word seems a little tough. But we think you're up to the challenge, so one word for Biggie Swanigan.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. And the one word I'm going to choose is franchise.
Dion, thank you so much for giving up your Friday evening to be with us.
Well, it's good to be here. I mean, come on now, how could I not?
I know.
Get to sit across the table from a beautiful woman and talk sports.
You flatter me. You
Why not?
flatter me. Well, that's a good confidence boost going in. And we're lucky because we had not one, but two fantastic games on Thursday night that we get to talk about. I was excited watching these games, sitting there going, oh, I just can't wait to talk to Dion about them. But let's start with the big rivalry game, the battle in Bloomington, Purdue and Indiana. It's always a great game, but this one had the double foul that was heard around the world. I think social media collectively exploded in one moment. And it started with 45 seconds to play in the game, the Hoosiers trailing. Thomas Bryant, he's driving into the lane and he's driving into Caleb Swanigan. Swanigan fell backwards and then came two whistles. One ref calling a charge, the other a block, ultimately resulting in a double foul. Now that was the fifth foul for both Bryant and Swanigan, so both of them foul out. Here's what the head coaches had to say after the game.
Have you ever seen the foul called, or what are your thoughts on that?
I've seen a double foul called. I've not seen it called in the act of shooting right there. They normally get together, one has it before the other one, and then they go from there. So I've never seen that called at that time, no. But you see a lot of different things when you play here, so it's just kind of part of it.
Oh, yeah, it was momentum. I mean, no question. I'll have to watch the film, but it was, no question. It's a one-possession game with that basket, right? Was it a one-possession game?
It was,
Wouldn't have been one?
down 5.
Yeah, potentially, if they call foul, I mean, the basket went in, right?
Yeah.
You're either getting the 2 points or you're getting an and one. So, yep.
Great deep sigh there from Tom Crean. The Huskers have been playing great at home. They got a win over number 20 Purdue, looking for their second win over a ranked opponent this season, playing Wisconsin. Now, Ty Webster led the Huskers with 19 points, but it was Michael Jacobson who hit a three with less than a second remaining in regulation to send the game to overtime. Ultimately, though, Nebraska's 22 turnovers got the better of them, and Wisconsin's Nigel Hayes, playing like the senior that he is and hitting that clutch three to get the W in overtime. So what is the takeaway from this if you're a Wisconsin fan? Should Wisconsin fans be a little concerned? Because this was a close game.
No, I don't think so. I mean, everyone knows Nebraska's tough at home. But what they also do not do is turn the basketball over. So they're not giving you opportunities to beat them. They're going to force you to beat them while playing defense the way that they do. So, no, do not be afraid. Do not sweat. Those Badger fans should be pretty good.
Now, you say they don't turn it over, but I think one of the moments that stood out in that game was the Bronson Koenig 10-second violation. And it was the only reason I bring it up is because it's so out of character. He is just been key to this entire team. And you see something like that, and it's just, I mean, it was so stunning to me to see that. But you also talked about the offense, and they were not shooting the ball well. In fact, they haven't been shooting the ball well recently. In the last 4 games, they only have 63.3 points per game, shooting just 37%. So how do you kind of pick this up if you're Wisconsin? How do you find some more offensive production as you're getting to this later point in the season? Our next big one is Jerry Kill being back on Big Ten sidelines. He's at Rutgers. Now, we know Chris Ash liked or wanted to be running the spread offense, but everything just failed miserably for Rutgers. There's no way to sugarcoat this. They were last in the entire country in total offense. So what will this offense look like with Jerry Kill as the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, Jerry Kill, he's a coach. He's a very established, very experienced coach. Well, this probably doesn't surprise anybody, but I would take Nick Bosa, the young defensive end from Ohio State, and I'm not just saying that because he's Joey Bosa's brother and everybody knows about Joey Bosa, but the way that this young guy played right away for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and he had limited reps, but his production was just amazing. And yeah, that's right, he's got the right bloodline. So whatever you saw of him as a freshman, a true freshman out of Florida, nothing's going to be better and better and better. And he may be a dominant player right away, but before he leaves Ohio State, he's going to be a dominant player.
And if he's anything like his brother, expect huge differences between his first year and his second year. Joey almost doubled the number of sacks that he had between his first season and second season. He had 8, and then he had 14 his sophomore year. So pretty impressive. All right, number 3 guy off your board.